Blog Talk Radio.
Live from our studios in New York City and San Francisco, it's First and Life with your hosts Corey Lucci and Steve Hoyam. We tackle talk with purpose.
And hello, everybody. Welcome to First and Life Friday. I'm your co-host, Steve Hoyam, along with Corey Lucci. How's it going, Corey?
Hello. I'm well. How's it going, big fella?
It's going great. We've got Corey back in New York sitting in his car trying to find a parking spot.
Good old New York City. Good old New York City. What can you do?
Exactly. Well, that's part of your typical life in New York City, I guess. Driving around looking for fun.
Hey, that's why I need to head out to California sooner than later.
Yeah, we have plenty of parking. Although in San Francisco it can get a little bit expensive, and downtown can be tough too. But in my neighborhood I've got plenty of parking, so I can't complain.
There we go.
So, tell us about your journey back from California. You got back what night was it?
Technically Saturday, Sunday. Well, it was really. I mean, by the time I got back, it was Sunday. So it was a typical flight, as you would say. But overall, it was hard to leave sunny Southern California.
I bet.
But once again, I'm back. The mission was accomplished. Got out there. Got a chance to see Lisa Nichols. Got a chance.
Yeah, and we're going to talk about that.
Yeah, from Agape. So it was just overall, Steve, it was a great trip, man. Just let you know that that's just a blessing to be alive right now.
That's right. And it's a blessing to have you joining us today. It's First in Life. We're on Fridays, and you've caught another action-packed, exciting episode with Steve Hoyam and Corey Lucci. You can find us at firstandlife.com, firstandlife.com. And if you're listening to us live today, which would mean that you're listening on Friday, May 24th at 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern, you can call us at 714-510-3759. Again, that's 714-510-3759. And we'd love to have you join us in the conversation. Today we've got an action-packed agenda. We wanted to talk about Corey's trip to Southern California. Roger Goodell, the NFL commissioners, had a few comments that were interesting to us regarding player transitions. We've got some First in Life NFL news, stories of the week, so to speak. Josh Brent from Dallas is on that list. And moving the NFL draft to May is also something that we wanted to chat about. But First in Life is your home for personal coaching, personal development, and changing your perspective and getting the most out of life and living each day like it is the first day of the rest of your life. So
couldn't have said it any better, partner. I couldn't have said it any better myself.
Well, thank you for that. So let's just start off, talk a little bit more about your trip to Southern California, interaction with Lisa. So you had dinner with Lisa Nichols?
Yeah, well, actually, it turned into a meeting slash dinner, but it was just, again, it was just a good time, man. She's doing, obviously, some very, very big things in her space. I was kind of blown away to find out that she's actually on the road 287 days. So she has been booked out this year for 287 events. And I found myself looking like, wow, is this a woman? Is this a human being? Or is this just a machine? But as she told me, she doesn't treat it as like it's work because it's something that she's truly passionate about, and if anything, and I'm quoting her here, if anything, she looks at it as being a part of her ministry and her slash DNA. So I thought that was powerful. I always challenge folks. What would it feel like to truly get up and go to a job or your quote unquote place to work that you truly cherished and that you truly enjoyed every single day. I think it's beyond powerful, man. So while I did not sit through the entire conference, one of the guests we've had on our show, Oe did. So we have to get her to call in maybe in a couple like weeks, and she can go over some of the things that she got out of that conference. But what I will say, Steve, is probably never been around that many women in a hotel that were all about one main goal, and that was to become a better person or a better you. So again, Lisa's doing some big things, and so I'm just happy to even have that time to even sit down and talk.
Yeah, how many men were in that hotel?
Well, in the hotel, obviously I can't answer. Probably in her conference, I'm gonna take a wild guess to say there were probably 30, 40 there. But now keep in mind we're talking about out of 600 people,
Oh. Okay.
So I think even in this personal growth space, and I'm not by any means knocking the men today, but we sometimes we seem to be the last to the party, or some folks feel like, oh, it's not macho to show that, oh, you're being vulnerable, or you're finding or if you will, getting in touch with your inner self. And I'm here to tell you that that's just so not true, because I look at you, I look at myself, I look at JT. I know we've all shared our own personal stories, but how we've all grown, and it literally came from waking up saying, okay, you know what, enough is enough. This is the day that I become more accountable, and I take a good look at my life and the things that I want to change, and that it's okay, to be vulnerable. It truly is.
No, that sounds good. I mean, we got to get that message out, and that's part of the First in Life message too. Is that it's okay.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
Especially for men, that it's okay to be who you are, to be your authentic self, and if that means being vulnerable, be vulnerable, be honest, and ask for help when you need help. And those are some of the keys that we've learned the hard way in our existence here. So yeah, that is powerful stuff, and I'm glad you had that experience with Lisa and her conference, and just give us a flavor of what it's like out there. What people are hungry for and thirsty for, and just making the connection.
Well, and Steve, I've said many times on our show, and just in general, that I really do feel that there's a movement going on. I really do believe that people are trying to take their lives back, if you will. That is, while yes, everybody wants to be successful, and that's a dangerous word, and everybody wants to make money, everybody wants to have a family and live happily ever after. Oftentimes it comes back to your priorities and what's truly important in life. I mean, I can go back and look at some of my goals, man, from like early on. I mean, when I say early on, I'm talking like my 20s, and I was blown away because I had always had this set of like rules that it was about my faith, my family, and my finances, and somehow or another, for me, back in 2004, 2005. It sort of turned into finances. I kind of forgot about those other two, faith, family. It was just finances, and I think we all, whether it be drugs, whether it be alcohol, whether it be women, whatever. I think we all have those shortcomings, and one thing I've truly gotten out of my own life, the sooner you face the music, the sooner you can get on to living. And as we like to say, living the best day of your life. Yeah,
but facing the music, right? That can take many forms, and I think that one of the best ways to face the music on a consistent basis is hook yourself up with a life coach, with a mentor, with a teacher, someone that's going to help you look at your blind spots, examine where you're at, where you're going, help you get clear on those goals. Because when you lose sight of those goals, you're going to end up slightly misdirected, just like you alluded to. It could be finances when you wanted to hold things like faith and family a little bit closer, and you realize, usually when it's too late, that you've kind of slipped. So, and what I mean by too late, it's never too late to get back on track, but by working with yourself, you're going to increase the likelihood that you're going to forget things. I forget things. I can't remember things. I need to be rigorous about this, and the change that we talk about, the life change, the process change, the new habits that we're trying to instill. It requires daily practice, right?
Yeah. Yep.
So, good luck to everyone that's out there trying to do that. And, that's what we're here for. We want to be part of that process with you, part of your life change. And so give us a call. Let us know how we can help in that regard. 714-510-3759. Again, that's 714-510-3759. We're going to switch gears a little bit and talk about the NFL. And speaking of forgetting, Josh Brent from the Dallas Cowboys. We talked about that tragic incident where he had been driving drunk and was in a car accident with a teammate who died. And so Josh is back in the news again. Apparently, prosecutors feel like he's been tampering with his monitoring device and maybe violating the terms of his probation or parole or whatever that is by drinking alcohol again. So that's in the news. I think that the judge is wanting him to be monitored more closely. That's just a sad story that, here this guy is, he can't comply with the terms of his parole.
Well, it's beyond, and it goes beyond that. I mean, and you're right. And again, here, we're about encouraging, and we're about lifting people up, but we're also about being accountable. And I said this last year when I saw him standing on the sidelines, literally, virtually a week after his friend had passed, from that horrific car accident. I knew then. I said, you know what? Priority's in the wrong place. And a lot of people say, oh, well, no, the Cowboys were trying to support him as a family, and they wanted him to know that they were there for him as his teammates, and that I think the kid's mom even came out and said that she forgave them because they were best friends. They went to college together, and A, B, and C. And while all that's great, fine, well, and good, we make choices, and I oftentimes say there are choices and there are consequences every day. And unfortunately, Steve, regardless of what anyone says, I don't think the consequences were high enough for this young man. And like I've heard some people say, well, if you cut him, what good is that going to do? Now, you're going to have someone that's out of football, so that's going to hurt him. That's going to devastate him. His ability, to earn a living is going to be somewhat crushed. But I'm going, okay, people are talking about football and people are talking about money, and I'm talking about the real world. I'm talking about real life. I'm talking about the issues or the quote unquote demons or whatever you're going to call it that he's going through that no one has truly addressed. And while I don't know what it feels like, to be addicted to alcohol or to feel like you have to have that drink. You could probably talk about this better than I can, Steve. All I know is if I did anything, and I'm not just some alcohol, if I did anything that caused someone their life, me personally, knowing who I am, I'm going to make some changes. So that's why I just feel like on that note, maybe Jerry Jones or the NFL need to change their policy and say, okay, you know what? Upon some accident like that where they find that there are drugs and alcohol, then it's a mandatory suspension for at least 1 year. I think he was back playing like 3 weeks later. So, to each his own.
Yeah, I mean, it's not an easy situation, especially in the NFL, like we talked about last week. They'll cut you if you have type 2 diabetes. If you have a problem with drugs or alcohol, I mean that, I believe, is a disease as well, just like cancer, just like diabetes. And, the problem that we face is, so a guy like Josh Brent, does he need help? Well, if he's having a hard time complying with the terms of not drinking, and especially in light of the tragedy that he was involved with, I mean, it seems to me the fact that he's out there drinking, allegedly, or whatever he's doing, the behavior that he's continuing to pursue, that indicates that there might be something more to it. And how do we deal with that? Well, the PA's got its opinion. It's like, hey, you can't mandate this for our player. And the team's got its opinion. It's like, how much do we help the player versus take care of our own needs? And so a guy like Josh Brent can easily fall through the cracks, right?
Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, he's just as guilty, but I think the system is just as guilty, because ultimately, at the end of the day, the system is obviously failing him, and I'm saying that as a rep of the PA. I just think, you know,